Hello and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. Today we are doing May's Copic colors of the month. This month they are G29 Pine Tree Green, V12 Pale Lilac, and RV66 Raspberry. I will also have the hex code and Pantone codes down below. They are on copicmarker.com for now. Interesting thing here, Copic, well, the company called Too in Japan, the makers of Copic, they've passed on ownership to the third generation now, and they've decided to do away with middlemen distributors outside of the Asian market. And because of that, Imagination International Inc., they aren't the exclusive North American distributor of Copics anymore, so they're just kind of changing their whole thing. They're becoming a Marker Universe or something like that. I'll definitely clarify that and have it either on the screen here or down below. And so that's why they changed the hashtag from Copic colors to colors of the month. That's why they've started doing the hex codes and the Pantone colors, which is really cool. And they're transitioning from being just North America's Copic supplier to being a distributor, collector, store for all sorts of marker brands for actually all of North America and not just Canada and USA, I believe. I think at least Mexico is finally going to be included. And so that's why they've been transitioning. Sometime in the summer they're going to transition to their new website. They've already changed their social media names to Marker Universe, or Universe of Markers, I think it is. So going forward, I am still going to be doing colors of the month. I'm probably still going to use the Copic colors name and hashtag in my videos, along with whatever else they're calling it, for a while at least, just because that's what we're used to. But I take it this means that they're no longer going to have packs of markers available to buy just for the month's colors. So I am going to try a little less at actually getting the right colors. So let's get on with it. This is May's Colors of the Month from the originators of Copic colors, and I did have to color match that raspberry color because I don't own it. Here we go. So out of this month's colors, I actually only had V12 Pale Lilac. I had to match G29 Pine Tree Green and RV66 Raspberry. For G29 Pine Tree Green, I used a Winsor Newton brush marker in the shade G756 Lush Green. And for RV66 Raspberry, I ended up being forced to compromise and use R37 Carmine Red. I really don't have enough different red and red-violet shades in my marker collection. That's something I want to fix when I buy more markers in the future, but I'm always drawn to the blues and greens. Believe it or not, red is my favorite color. But anyway, I say unfortunately I had to match with R37 Carmine Red because it's far too true and deep of a red shade for the color that they intended for us to use. Oddly enough, the swatching I did with my red markers actually matched decently well with the sample color swatch on their website, so I thought I wasn't compromising too much with my choice. But now that I've seen so many other colors of the month pieces on Instagram that actually used RV66 Raspberry, I can tell that RV66 is a much paler, more desaturated color, and it definitely has a cooler, more purple tones to it. Whereas my Carmine marker is, unsurprisingly, very decidedly red. For my piece, I broke out my little Copic marker sketchbook that came in a sketch box last year, It's uncoated marker paper, similar to Transo-type marker paper, but obviously uncoated, so there is some bleed through. The nice thing about this little sketchbook, though, is that they included a plastic kind of sheet at the back for us to rip out and place behind the page we're working on, and it works really quite well. If you watched the Sketchbox video where I used this sketchbook for the first time, I hadn't noticed that yet, and it wasn't mentioned on the materials card in the box, so I actually ended up putting a different, larger piece of paper in there to protect from bleed through, and it was so awkward. I think I probably gave it a bit of a negative review at the time because of that, but now that I know this helpful little page is there, I really like this sketchbook, and I would definitely consider replacing it when I'm done. It's such a nice little travel size. Fits in everything, doesn't take too long to finish a piece this size. Not sponsored, I just love it. I decided to draw an Icelandic pony and be really stylized and minimalistic with the details so that I could play up just how much of a massive mane these little horses have, and let the warm red purple shades of the horse stand out against the green background. At first, I wanted to do some tip to tip with a colorless blender to achieve more of a gradient in the background, but Winsor and Newton markers just plain don't do that as well as Copics do. I hope the really dark patch to the right of the horse where I compensated for the mess isn't too noticeable in the final piece. I can see it, but I'm hoping that's just because I know it's there and I'm being self-conscious about it. Obviously now you know it's there too, but you have the benefit of just being the audience. By the way, for those of you who come around all the time, I just wanted to address the odd facecam quality inconsistencies you've seen this week and will see in a handful of videos coming up in the near future. I got a little remote for my filming phone, and in order to use more than just the camera shutter button on the remote, I have to film through a different app, not the phone's native camera software. So there are different settings to learn about, check. I filmed a batch of intros using the front-facing selfie cam orientation in this other camera app, and my ring light was really messing with the light balance. I did notice partway through and moved the ring light, but so far I haven't had the time to go back and figure out which intros had the odd lighting issues and refilm them. So that's why Tuesday's video had weird lighting, and that's why you might see a couple more in the near future with glitchy lighting as well. If you're new here, please do subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. I upload every Tuesday and Thursday at minimum, and I also upload bonus videos from time to time. I might have a bonus video this weekend, actually. We'll see how it goes. I'm an art channel, as you can probably tell, but I do also put out crafts, tutorials, and related product reviews sometimes as well. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment down below. I love reading your comments, and I do my best to reply as soon as I can. I'd love to know what you think about this whole mess with Copic cutting out the middleman distributors, and hear how it might be affecting you. I know a lot of suppliers here in North America that normally carry Copic products have a lot of listings out of stock right now. I actually bought my first Various Ink refill last month, and I had intended to buy 2 because I had 2 colors that needed it, but I couldn't find one of the colors anywhere. I ended up just getting a new marker for that one, and I'm not too upset about it because I upgraded that one from Chow to Sketch, but anyway, did you like this month's Colors of the Month challenge? What did you come up with? Leave a comment down below with your links or how I could find it if you want me and the audience to check it out. I'd love to see your work.